Good morning, students. Today we are going to recall about silk in your chapter 3, fibers to fabric. So, listen children, in our last class we have discussed about this silk. Today we are going to recall about this silk and its production. See, listen, see this picture. What is this? Do you remember? This is silk fiber. See, this silk fiber is also an animal fiber. Already we know this. And also, this silk is one of the highly priced fiber. Do you know this? This is highly priced fiber because of its shining luster. Because of its shining luster. So, see this picture. See, it is silk cloth. It is very shiny in nature. So, it is a good fabric for both winter and summers. It is a good fabric for both winters and summers due to its heat resistant in nature. Due to its heat resistant in nature. That's why we are using this silk for wearing. So, see, this is very shiny in nature. So, what is meant by silk? Silk is a fine, soft and shining natural fiber obtained from cocoon of silk moth. What is silk moth? It is an insect. So with the help of this, we can make a variety of silk clothes. So for this, we know this, we have to do many process. We will discuss one by one. So already we know this. This silk is the strongest natural fiber made of protein. The silk is the strongest natural fiber made of protein. So, about this process, we will discuss now. So, what is silk? It is a natural fiber obtained from cocoon of silk moth. See this picture. This is silkworm. See, this is silkworm. So, we know this already. It is an insect. So, how will you get silk from this silkworm? Now, we will discuss one by one. Listen. Production of silk. It involves the following process. See children, first process, rearing of silkworms to obtain cocoons. And second one, processing of cocoons to obtain silk fiber. And third one, weaving of silk fiber to obtain silk fabric. We will discuss one by one. Now, we are going to discuss about rearing of silkworms. Do you remember children what is meant by rearing? Do you know this word rearing? It's nothing. What's meant by rearing? It means to look after the silkworms by providing food, shelter and health care. This is called rearing. Now we will discuss about this rearing step by step. Listen. In rearing process, first a female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. See this leaf. Do you know what is this leaf? This is a mulberry leaf. See, a female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. See this, the black dots, black dots are called as nothing, that are eggs. So, the eggs of silk moth are stored carefully on paper or cloth strip and sold to silkworm farmers. How do we give this to silkworm farmers? With the help of bare hands? No, because it causes allergy as well as the skin of silkworm is very soft. So, we have to give in a safe manner. So, then the farmers keep these eggs at a suitable temperature and humidity under hygienic condition. From where will you get these mulberry leaves? We know that already. We will get these from mulberry tree. See the picture. This is mulberry tree. See. This is mulberry tree. From this trees only, we will take that mulberry leaves. Now, I will show to you the picture of mulberry leaf with fruit. See this picture. This is mulberry leaf with mulberry fruit. So, on this leaves only, the silk moth lays hundreds of eggs. Now, I will show to you the separate leaf. Look at the picture. This is a single mulberry leaf. So, on this female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs. Then the eggs hatch, larva or silkworm comes out. Larva or silkworm comes out. So, this larva or silkworm is otherwise called as caterpillar. So these silkworms are kept in clean bamboo trays, kept in clean bamboo trays and fed on mulberry leaves. See the trays kept on clean bamboo trays. And then these silkworms eat day and night and becomes very big. Eat day and night and becomes very big. When the silkworms are about 25 days old, they become 10,000 times. They become 10,000 times heavier than their first stage. So they are now ready to spin a silk cocoon. They are ready to spin a silk cocoon. See this picture. This is cocoons. What is this white thread? It is nothing. This is white color. That is called cocoon. Sometimes small twigs are provided in the tray to which the cocoons get attached. That in the tray, a small twigs are provided. Why means because the cocoons will get attached in the tray. So due to that reason only we will provide a small tray also in there. Then from this cocoon, next we will get one liquid like substance. How will we get? That silk is generally produced from the silkworm's head and then forced out in liquid form through opening. So that is called spinneret. What's the meaning for that? It is spinneret. So the silk then solidifies when it comes in contact with air. The silk solidifies when it comes in contact with air. The silkworm completes its cocoon, which is about nearly 4 centimeter long. How much? Nearly 4 centimeter long in about 5 days by producing nearly 600 to 1200 meters of silk filament. Nearly 600 to 1200 meters of silk filament. This process is called, what is the name of this process? This is rearing of silkworm. Now we will discuss about next process, processing of cocoon to obtain silk fibers. Listen. How can we do this processing of cocoons? All the cocoons are collected together and we have to place in hot water or under sun. Now the silk fibers separate out due to heat. The silk fiber separate out due to heat. So the cocoons are put into hot water. Why means which kills the worms as well as it loosens the filament. Then only that cocoon spread that white filament. No, that filaments will get loosens. So as well as loosens the filaments, some cocoons are preserved to get silkworms that are used later for breeding purpose also. Later for breedings. So this, do you know children, this one cocoon contains approximately 1,000 yards of silk filament. See, we know this 1,000 yards of silk filament, it is combined together to make, that is one cocoon. So the thickness of cocoon is like that. The silk at this stage is known as raw silk. What's the name of the silk at this stage? It is known as raw silk. This is the last stage, that is from this raw silk, that is from this silk yarn, 3 to 10 strands are usually spun at a time. 3 to 10 strands are usually spun at a time to produce the desired thickness of raw silk. So this is the last stage, the spinning and weaving of silk fiber to obtain silk fabric or cloth. Then the silk yarn is put into bales and transported to the silk mills. Then we will get the silk cloth, that is the weavers then weave silk yarn into silk cloth on looms. We know this. So see this picture, these are the silk cloths. How it look like? The silk fibers are very fine, soft. So these silk yarn we are converting into silk cloth on looms. What's the name of this process? That is, silkworms are reared to produce silk. Do you remember children? Yes, the name of this process is known as sericulture. So what is meant by sericulture? See here, rearing of silkworm to produce raw silk is called sericulture. So next, with the help of the sericulture only we are producing silk. So that process is called sericulture. Next we are going to discuss about the stages of that is silk moth. How will you convert that is silkworm into silk? There are 4 stages in the development of silk moth that we are discussing about life cycle of silk moth next. In this we have different stages are there. What are the different stages? Generally we have 4 stages in the development of silk moth. That is, first stage is egg, then it is converted into larva or caterpillar, then it will enter into pupa, then final stage it is an adult stage. See children, now we are going to discuss about the life cycle of silk moth. See this picture. See, this is an life cycle of silk moth. See, first stage, that is, it is given here, female and male silk moth picture is here. See, in second stage, what picture is here? It is eggs is here. In third one, it is silkworm is here. And next one, cocoon. And the next one, pupa. And finally, it is entered into last stage. This is the life cycle of silk moth. So, we will recall once again. So, this life cycle of silk moth. In this first, the female silk moth lays its eggs on leaves of mulberry tree. This is we know. This is first stage. Then, the eggs hatch into larva called it is caterpillar or silkworm. Caterpillar or silkworm, which feed these mulberry leaves and grow fast. After 4 to 6 weeks, what will happen? They achieve their maximum size and then stop eating. They achieve their maximum size and stop eating. Then a fully grown silkworm attaches itself to a twig. And stops moving. It won't move next. Then it weaves a cover around itself. Cover around itself. And that cover around itself, this stage is called pupa. What's this name? Pupa. See this picture? This stage is called pupa. The pupa then starts secreting silk fibers from glands in its head until it is completely covered around the pupa. So this hard covering is known as cocoon. This hard covering stage is known as, it is cocoon stage. Do you know children, how do this cocoon get hardened? See, the fibers harden when exposed to air. When exposed to air, it changes into hard covering, that is known as cocoon. See children, in which process we will prepare cocoon? That is rearing. Do you know reeling? Reeling is entirely different from rearing. What is reeling? That is nothing, it is the process by which the silk fibers are taken out from the cocoon. The silk fibers are taken out from the cocoon, and then we will unwound to get long threads of silk from this cocoon. That process is called reeling. See, reeling the silk. The process of taking out fibers from the cocoon for use as silk is known as reeling. So, how will you done this process? The reeling is done in special machine. That is, silk fibers are spun into silk thread, which are woven into silk cloth by weavers. So, this process is known as reeling the silk. Next, we are going to discuss about the different types of silks. So, listen children, we have different types of silks. See, what are the types already we have discussed? That is, the most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. So, from that we will get mulberry silk. So, the mulberry silk is obtained from the mulberry silk moth. So, mulberry silk is very soft, lustrous and also elastic. We can dye this mulberry silk into many different colors. So, we have different types of silks. That is, what are that? That is tussar silk, moga silk, kosa silk as well as mulberry silk. So, the most common silk is the mulberry silk. And we know that already we have different types of silk, that is natural silk as well as artificial silk also. And we have already discussed about the risk faced by the workers. What are these? Are called occupational hazards. The occupational hazards are nothing. The risks faced by people working in any industry due to the nature of their work is called occupational hazards. Mainly in shortest job is very risky. What is mean by shortest job? In wool industry, shortest job in wool industry is very risky, as sometimes what is happen, sometimes they get infected by a bacterium, it is called anthrax, which causes a fatal blood disease, it is called Shorter's disease. In wool industry, it gives employment to many people in our country, this is we know, but shortest job is risky because in this sometimes they get affected by a bacterium, it is anthrax, which causes a fatal blood disease. This disease is called Shorter's disease. This is one of the occupational hazards. So they can ask question also, how the Shorter's disease is also one of the occupational hazards. So you can explain, because in this they are getting affected by a bacterium, so this is called Shorter's disease. Then we are going to discuss about some question and answers in this lesson. So listen children carefully, we will discuss one by one. See your first question. What's your first question mean? See here. See, why caterpillars should not be collected with bare hands? See, while discussing, we have already thought that is caterpillars should not be collected with bare hands, that is with the help of empty hands. Why? Because the skin of caterpillars are very soft and sometimes they may cause allergy. So, the caterpillars should not be collected with bare hands. See next question, second one. How do the farmers come to know that a silkworm is ready to spin a cocoon? See how they do come to know. That is when the caterpillars stop eating. At the end of the growth stage, farmers know that they are ready to spin the cocoons, because in that time they will stop eating. They won't eat. They will stop eating means they are ready to spin the cocoon. So the farmers come to know that in this stage only these silkworms are ready to spin the cocoons. Next question. Why caterpillars need to shed their skin when they grow bigger? Because the caterpillars eat their own shed skin during their growing stage and have no other food option. So they need to shed their skin when they grow bigger to enter the next stage of its life history, that is called pupa. See, already we have discussed during life history of silk moth, that is life cycle of silk moth. That is a fully grown silkworm attaches itself a twig. Is it no? Then that stops moving, it weaves a cover around itself. So that stage only we have called it as pupa. So then only the pupa starts secreting the silk fibers. So due to this reason only the caterpillars need to shed their skin. Fourth one, workers in the sericulture industry suffer from asthma and other breathing problems. Why? Do you know children what is meant by sericulture? We have discussed already. The sericulture, it is the rearing of silkworms to produce silk. Rearing of silkworms to produce silk is called sericulture. See here, the workers in the sericulture industry suffer from asthma and also other breathing problems. Why? Because inhalation of vapors arising from boiling. When we are boiling, we are during that processing of silk, we are boiling the cocoons. So inhalation of vapors arising from boiling, cooking and reeling cocoons causes asthma and other breathing problems in workers of the sericulture industry. What is reeling? Already we know that it is the process by which the silk fibers are taken out from the cocoon. So during this process we are doing this. That's why workers in the sericulture industry suffer from asthma and also some other breathing problems. Next we are going to question number 5. Listen. Fifth one. At what stage in the life cycle of silk moth is it killed to get the silk? At what stage? We know this. At the cocoon stage, the silk moth is boiled to get silk from them. Which stage? At cocoon stage. Next one, about how many have to be killed to get 1 kilogram of silk. So how many have to be killed? To obtain 1 kilogram of silk, at least we have to kill 9 to 10 cocoons. At least we have to kill 9 to 10 cocoons. So at the cocoon stage, silk moth is boiled to get silk from them. So 1 kg of silk we have to kill 9 to 10 cocoons. Next one, cocoon is used to obtain silk thread. How? How the cocoon is used to obtain silk thread? Already we have discussed about the reeling process. Do you remember? A pile of cocoon, that is a group of cocoon, is used for obtaining silk fiber. The cocoons are kept under the sun, boiled water or exposed to steam. Then only we will take the silk fiber separating out from the cocoon. This process already we have discussed. The process of taking out threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called reeling the silk. What's the name of this process? Not rearing, it is reeling the silk. See your 7th question, children. Name the most common silk moth. What are the characteristics of silk fibers obtained from the cocoons of the silk moth? See, what's the most common silk moth? We know this. The most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. See, what are the characteristics of this silk fiber obtained from this cocoon of silk moth? That is nothing. The silk obtained from the cocoons of mulberry silk moth is called mulberry silk. What's the name of the silk? Mulberry silk. So this mulberry silk is soft, lustrous. What is meant by lustrous? Shining in nature, that is shiny, and elastic, and can be dyed in different colors. We can dye it with the help of variety of colors. So the most common silk moth is mulberry silk. Last one, it is fill in the blanks to describe the process of reeling. It's not like one word answers. Listen children, this is also one of the type of question. We know this reeling process. Based on reeling process, the question is given. See, cocoons heated in dash and dash from 4 to 8 cocoons joined and twisted, combined with other similarity, twisted and dashed to make dash silk. Do you have any idea? Listen, see the answer. See, cocoons heated in boiling water. Cocoons heated in boiling water. Then the filaments from 4 to 8 cocoons. What is meant by filaments? The thin strand-like structures that are filaments. So the filaments from 4 to 8 cocoons joined and then twisted. The 4 to 8 cocoons joined and then twisted. Then it combined with other similarly twisted filaments. So again it is combined with other similarly twisted filaments. Then it will make raw silk. Listen once again. Cocoons heated in boiling water. The filaments from 4 to 8 cocoons joined and twisted and combined with other similarly twisted filaments to make raw silk. This is the answer for this question. So what we have discussed in this class today? We have discussed about life cycle of silkworm and production of silk, then occupational hazards. These topics we have discussed today. Listen children, next week you are going to write a test. So for that, here I have enclosed some more reference questions to you, but no need to write in your classwork. Up to this question you will write in your classwork. After this, I have enclosed some more questions for you for reference for your test. So that questions no need to write in your classwork. It is given for only your reference. So see, in that first question, it is given to you same based, that is fill up based question. See the first one. Now I will read. Complete the paragraph related to the life history of silk moth by filling in the blanks. See, the dash silk moth lays dash from which heads dash called dash or dash they grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history called dash. It first weaves a covering to hold itself, which is known as dash. Do you know the answer? Yes, I think you have guessed the answer. See what will come in first dash. The dash silk moth lace. What dash silk moth lace? The dash silk moth lace, that is female silk moth, lays what? Eggs, from which heads larva called what? It is otherwise called caterpillar or silkworm. Caterpillar or silk. They grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history called pupa, it first weaves a covering to hold itself, which is known as cocoon. See, now check your answers. What are the answers? It is given. See, first one, female, eggs, larva, caterpillar, silkworm, pupa, and then cocoon. So these are the answer for that question. So next one, it is given to you. The second one, it is a diagram based question. I'll give you one diagram. See the diagram and write the stages. See in second one, write a caption for each of the figure given as figure A to D. What's the first figure contains? It is nothing. Eggs on mulberry leaf. What is second one? What is second one? It is silkworm. And then C option. What is this? This is nothing. A pupa inside cocoon. And what is last one? That is cocoon with developing moth. Now check your answers. See the answers. Eggs of silk moth on mulberry leaf. Silkworm, that is cocoon. Pupa inside cocoon. Then cocoon with developing moth. And then see your next question. Some jumbled words are given, and from that you have to find out the answer. So see carefully. Some words related with silk or jumbled up. Write them in their correct form. See children. See carefully and then tell your answer. Are you guessed? Yes, I think you have guessed the answer. It is sericulture, silkworm, mulberry, reeling. What are the answers? Sericulture, silkworm, mulberry, reeling. So the next one is, that is nothing. One more question to you. That is, state whether the following statements are true or false. If false, correct them. If it is true, no need. Whether it is false, you have to write the correct answer. See first one. Silkworms are caterpillars of silk moth. Yes, the answer is true. See the second one. In India, camels and goats are generally reared for obtaining wool. Is it true? No. What's the answer? It is false statement. Sheep are mostly reared for wool in India, not camels and goats. Only sheep are mostly reared for wool in India. So you have to write the whether it is false or true and then write the correct answer. And then see third one, the rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called silviculture. Is it true? No. What is silviculture? It is nothing, carrying and developing forest. But the rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. So this is false statement. You have to write the correct statement also. So false, it is called sericulture. Next one, in the process of obtaining wool from fleece, sorting is done after scoring. Is it true? Yes. In this process, sorting is done after scoring only. So this is right. So only you will write true. No need to give explanation. Then last one, CE. Yak hair are not used to make woolen fabric. What is this? Is it true? No, because it is false statement. Wool can be made from sheep, yak, llama, camel, alpaca and goats. From these are only used to make woolen fabric, not only yak hair. So in this type of question, whether the statement is true, just write true. Whether it is false, write the correct statement also. So this is one more type of question. So Just go through all these type of questions for your test, children. So prepare one by one and neatly write in your classwork. Only first 8 questions you will write in your classwork, it is enough. So these remaining questions are just it is given for your reference only. So refer well and prepare well and write your test properly. And then if you have any doubt, once again see the class, that is both. Already we have taken one videos there, and this revision video, both videos you will refer for your test. Thank you, children.